Hi, Taoping Airlines Math Industry here, and we have two more examples for you guys to practice on. So let's try and find the square root of 70. So we're going to try and put that on our Super Smash Bros. Number line. Here are two number lines, the top one and the bottom one. The top one represents the perfect squares. Like, for example, 9 is a perfect square of 3 times 3, or 9 is the square root of 3 times 3. 16 is the square root of 4 times 4. So, and here's our cursor. It will estimate on the number line on where the odd, not perfect square root will be. So it will be ending up into a decimal. 16 is a perfect square of 4. So we use this number line, because that's a perfect square. And this is how many times, itself, 4 times 4. So it's multiplied by itself. Let's reset our counter back to 0. And start the problem. 70, the numbers close to 70 are 8 and 9, because the square root of 64 is 8 and the square root of 81 is 9. So, let's move our counter up to 8 and wait there. So, 70 is going to be in the middle of here. So, you guys will estimate what the decimal is. So, here's 64 and here's 81. The difference between 64 and 70 is just 6. And the difference between 70 and 81 is 11. So 64 is going to be closer. So do you think the decimal is going to be towards 8? Or is the decimal going to be towards 9? Or is it in the middle? Well, I think it's going to be more towards this way, because the numbers are not really close to each other. Because if it was 6 and 5, or 5 and 5, then they would be in the middle of 8.5. But if we get 8.4 or 8.8, actually 8.1, if we get the range of 8.1 and 8.4, we would get a perfect or a good estimate. So if we guess there, we would get a good guess, and the number, the square root of 70, would be around here. So 70 is closer to 64, we should get an estimate of 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, or 8.4. Not 8.5, because that would be in the middle of 64 and 81. And that would be saying oh, it's a tie, but the numbers from each other are almost the same. So I'm gonna go with 8.3. What is your estimate? Put it down in the comments below and see what happens. Now we use a calculator to figure it out. So, 70 is the square root of 8.36. The number line, my guess was 8.3, and it was 8.36. So, that rounds up to 8.4. So 8.4 is going to be our final answer. We were very close to a good estimate. 8.4 would be the answer, because this rounds to that. Okay, so 54 is a perfect square of what? So this is the last problem. So, previous problem, let's reset the counter back to 0. So we want to know what 54 is closer to. So, on the top number line, if you look at the perfect square roots, we have 64 and 49. So 54 is going to be in the middle of here. So let's try and move our counter to that range. I'm going to put it in the middle for now. So 49 is the square root of 7, and 64 is the square root of 8. What do you think is closer? Well, 54 and 49, the only difference is that they're 5 away. The difference from 54 and 64, that is 10 away. So, do you think that the answer is going to be close to 7 or close to 8? Or in the middle? I'm going to say it's going to be closer to 5 because that is the lower number. And it's closer to the square root of 7, which is 49. So I'm going to say that it's going to be around 7.3, which is my best estimate. What do you think this estimate is, in your opinion? Comment below. So, if 54 is closer to 49, it can't be in the middle because the number differences between 64 and 49 are way different. So it's going to go at least this way. So my best estimate would be 7.3. Let's go see on a calculator and see what the answer is. So 54, the square root, 7.34. So here's 7.34. Would it round to 7.3 or 7.4? Well, since the 4 is there, it would be rounded to 7.3. So 7.3 is our answer. And that is what we estimated. So we solved both problems. So the square root of 70 would be 8.4. The square root of 54 would be 7.3. Thank you for watching Taoping Airlines Math Ministry. Like and subscribe. And here is something sweet for you guys. Have a nice day.